Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Yeah!
Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
What up, guys? It's your boy UAG back in the building, and we're back with another episode of the Weekly Retro Party, guys. And with that being said, we got some guests to come in, some people that got to pay off some debts, some bets that they've made. You know, you shouldn't do what you shouldn't do. Bobby's in the building. Mad Dads is in the chat. MCap, Brad, Hollywood Polo. So let's just say hi. Welcome everybody to the stream there. And let me bring the legend, the man, my co-host, Mr. Fabulous, Mad Dads. What's going on, brother?
What's up, y'all? What's up? I appreciate that intro, man. That was actually pretty.
You know, that's the least I can do.
You know, I see how it is, but you know, you came out with that one. I really appreciate you on that. I just want to say, man. You know, after yesterday and all, but
listen. The next is the next day, so you know.
What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Mike? What's up, Bobby, Boo, Hollywood?
Bobby
Brad.
the legend is in. So
who else am I missing? Anybody I'm missing? Dylan. Oh, y'all. Whoever else that I missed. There you go. What's up, man?
Okay, and one of our guests here. One of our guests is Mr. MeatballSaucey. Welcome to the show there, buddy.
Thanks, UAG. Hey, Mad Dad, how you doing? What's up, everybody in the chat? Glad to be here.
We're hump day, baby. It's hump day.
Amen to that.
And we also got Dead Man Walking, the person who has no home currently, who hasn't been a member of society for the last month. We're gonna bring them back. We're gonna accept them back into the good graces. We have Mr. Rainwater. What's going on, buddy?
I need some intro music.
Listen, we our budget can only afford the intro from the show. We're starting a GoFundMe. So eventually we will get there. We will get there.
For Dollar Shave Club, a GoFundMe for Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah. Well, you need that. Well, listen, you probably saved some money there, not shaving. So you're welcome.
I have a lot of like shave cream and stuff like saved up now.
Oh, you too.
Oh.
What are you doing? What?
I don't know what happened.
I cannot accept. That wasn't me. I don't know. Maybe
Zero guy.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Listen, I think he ruined the internet yesterday. Like I was trying to watch YouTube, and everybody's stream was getting cut off. So Dub Zero might have been the culprit in that. I don't know.
Up Weekly went from like 100 something down to like 8 people, like watching all that. It was that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was an outage for all YouTube. It was kind of crazy. But you know, neither here nor there. So guys, we have a jam-packed show. So let's get into it. Our first thing that we're going to talk about is what caused the internet to burn down yesterday, or at least the last couple of days, and that is Arcade 1-Up leaks. We have some new additions to add to that, so I apologize ahead of time. But basically, let's talk about the big one, the one that everybody would be super excited. I don't know for what, but they'll be super excited for the Big Blue, right? Yeah. We've seen leaks on that. Let me pull up some footage. You guys can talk.
Do you think it's real? Do you guys think this is real? First of all,
well, we're gonna talk about that because I think it's real, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's real. if my screen decides to, participate with me. Right there, yeah. Dub Zero, stop messing with me. So, we'll go ahead and mute this now. If you haven't seen this, this is on Toycade's YouTube channel. He's been known to like discover some crazy stuff. He's the one that discovered At Games having a first of all the Legends Pinball, but he also discovered the possibility of a countercade that At Games kind of licensed the name and everything. So it's a possibility that's coming down the pipelines. But here he has his stuff, and look at this. And I'm gonna freeze it right here. Okay. Now, this is the Big Blue, and it looks like it's gonna be a little taller than the average arcade one up, because it has that little if you see right here, this little extra panel, and it has screws and everything like that. So that's probably going to give it an additional foot or two. Who knows?
I think
Exactly.
was that because it was a prototype, maybe? And so
It's a possibility that it could be a prototype. But what in this, I think this is a markup that you would give to a retailer or something, or possibly. So if you're mocking this up, why would you leave that there? Unless
that's why I'm thinking that little extra panel on if this is real, that's not going to be there. I think that is just
this.
The tiny little panel there. I think that was just to make it taller for the prototype. I bet you that's just one solid piece there down to the riser.
I would hope so, because it would be a little. It would be a little ugly to me. I kind of hated it when the in terms of like the Legends Pinball, the Legends Ultimate, how it separates so you could kind of see that fine line. It bothers me. I just wish it was complete. So I hope that that's not the case, but I think it might be. But let's go ahead and go a little bit further in it. And then another thing is, if they're going with what they're doing now, we don't know how old this is. So it might be before the Legacy cabinets or the Mortal Kombat or the KI. You would think that they would put that coin door on there and not this kick plate. That's one of the things that kind of causes me pause for cause. And then this thing looks too top heavy as well. It looks like it will topple over eventually. So that kind of I don't know. But to be honest, I think that this is I think it's legit. What do you guys talk? Tell me what you think.
I think it is,
Yeah.
man. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I definitely think it's legit. I agree with Jeff that panel is probably prototype only. They're from a manufacturing standpoint. If you're doing a CNC cut, there's no reason to cut it like that. So I mean, I think that'll definitely disappear. But there's nothing that says that this isn't real. I mean, to me, it's a next logical step. They're going to put it online and they're going to put it out.
Well, they just came out with a 12 games with Street Fighter. So are they going to step down? Is this just like one game? Like,
I don't think it'll be one game. I think it might be all the series of Street Fighters, or maybe just for like the X-Men versus Street Fighter. But the big selling point for this, I think, is going to be the Wi-Fi. Those people who are true, legit wanting to do the fighting games, they're on there because of they're going to purchase this because of the Wi-Fi, and if anything, and then the traditional look of it.
what is that?
Nice.
No one knows what it is. No one knows what it is.
Someone's
it might
been
be a
putting their
blemish.
cigarette butt out on the.
It might be a blemish, but we know that that's the live thing. And you know that this is a render because look, the thing is cut off and everything like that. Who knows if the speakers would look like this? I hope not.
Are you sure that's not just
I
because
don't
it's
know,
like
man.
set
I
back?
think that's probably what's happening. Because if you
Like-
look at that, how it's leaned back, it's probably like a little, a little board underneath there that hold that, like you were talking about, top heavy. So with the speakers being out like that, you would need something to cover that. So it's kind of like leaned back again, just like all the other cabinets, instead of just straight up on that. But yeah, I think that even that bottom piece y'all were talking about, I think that's gonna real as well, y'all. The reason why I say that is because if you look at it's probably gonna be like an addition. I think like just like an add-on addition to it, because for people who just want the regular, just like it is, it'd be like that. But if somebody wants a little taller, they still have the rest. They can just add that. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know yet. But just from looking at it, it looks like that's what it's kind of like a little add-on addition, and maybe you can, with that middle piece there, maybe it's a little smaller or something like that for the regular edition. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
So let me throw something out there, and this might be totally off the wall, but P Dubs had made a video about another one I'm sure we're going to talk about, and he pulled that video down saying that he didn't want to ruin anything for anybody and he knew the full fall lineup, right? But then P Dubs made a video and he talked about this one after that. So does anybody else find that a little bit weird? Like he didn't want to ruin anything about the first leak, but he was totally willing to talk about this one. What's the difference?
Because he didn't. I think it's because he didn't see it, so he's not liable for
He didn't know about
revealing
this
any
one?
sources or anything like that. He had mentioned in his video that he heard about this a while back from somebody who worked, but not in that actual document. So I think he feels at this point he wouldn't be held liable if he leaks something, because he's just speculating like all of us. We saw this video, and then Toy Cage is saying that this is public knowledge, so it probably was on a site or something like that in the early mornings, and it shouldn't have been. We shouldn't have been able to see it, and he saw it, and they probably pulled that information. But
Well, what about this? Okay, did you guys see the One Up Weekly? Because Justin, I don't know if it was a slip of the tongue or whatever, but he said they were talking about this one, and then he said, in reference to the Simpsons one, he goes, that one that we're not supposed to talk about, and he wouldn't say the word Simpsons.
Yeah,
but they were talking about this one.
Yeah.
So why was Justin afraid to say anything about the Simpsons?
Like he's just that was him being
Just
chicken
being,
pound.
yeah.
He was just.
I just
being
think
funny.
I just feel like there's people that are in the know on some of this stuff that are like able to say some things but not others.
If you look at
we're not getting the full story from some people, and I don't know anything.
I'm thinking that this is kind of like going to be, if you look at this cabinet, right? And I'm a big fan of KI. If you look at the cabinet, you think they're going to tilt that, since you think they did it on the Street Fighter one, even though, this one has online. That's why people was going to buy it, and it's going to sell out. You already know that, just because it has that online feature. But do you think it's going to be tilt like that for the Killer Instinct? Actually, going to be tilt?
I would hope so. I think that enough negativity has been put out there on these legacy cabinets that they'll pivot. We can only one would only hope. Sometimes Arcade One Up could be stubborn in their ways, like they're not going to upgrade the joysticks, even though everybody has told them a million times. And
I think the angle looks more angled than it really is because the control panel is angled down. It might still be, the back might still be the same angle as the legacies.
The whole thing is like also that overhead over the screen is not in the way, right? So even if it's not tilted as much, not having that overhead or as much of an overhead, it's probably going to cause it not to that line of sight issue. MeatballSaucey, you need to jump in because you over there. I don't even see if you speaking, bro. Come on.
I'm actually sitting here thinking to myself about that marquee, and I'm wondering what you guys think. Are they going to have to double up the LED strip to get that thing to light up right?
Probably
That's
gonna
a
have to
big
do
old
something.
marquee, right?
They
Yeah.
light that whole thing.
Yeah.
That whole thing lights up.
It would
I
have
don't
to.
know.
It would
I
have
would
to.
say, I mean, that's just good for everybody else. It keeps Angel in business, keeps all them people in business, when people they come out with stuff like this. So I kind of like it when they come out with, new stuff because again, without, everybody already knows without Arcade One Up, some of these other people might not have been showing up. Like I said, like Angel, he took care of that. All these other people that's making marquees and stuff like that. So it keeps everybody in business. So kind of glad for them so they can, keep going. Just like with the legacy cabinets, that made everybody like 99 lives and all that stuff, come out with something new, and with the better control panels, making him some more money. So everybody, everybody has that improvement, where you could just improve what's going on. They know that too. So they're just gonna do what they got to do. All these people just gonna change it out anyway. Well, the enthusiasts like we are, they're just gonna change it out. But the normal people ain't gonna do that. But everybody else, we're gonna take care of, especially Bobby in the chat. He gonna already duplicate something, and take care of that. So
You know
that's
it.
how it is, right, Bobby?
So,
Right?
so
Got
I
plans
want to.
already.
I want to introduce another leak, and now this was a joke earlier in the week that at least I thought it was a joke. So if you haven't seen One Up Weekly, right? Weekly One Up, whatever their new name is, or their name. Sorry, I apologize, but you know who I'm talking about. So they made a joke, the running gag joke about Baby Cade, right? And then Rainwater had a he continued the
Stir the
joke,
pot.
and then I was laughing. And then I came across UC's channel, and I just dismissed it as the joke continuing from Rainwater. But in actuality, if you hear it, he sounds like he's really investigating, and he's serious about this
Baby Cade.
Baby Cade.
It's legit. Look at that.
So this looks like it's Fisher Price, right? And I don't know, for some people like myself, I keep my kids away from my arcades because they anything they touch it just straight disintegrates. So I could see that there is somewhat a market for this, but at the same time, I want to say this is a joke. This could not be true. This could not be serious.
Hold on, man. That Fisher Price, it's tough, man. You can't even tear that up. So I'm thinking it might be all right.
You can leave it out in your yard.
Chilling, though. The dude just like, you know what I mean? He's chilling in there, man. Got the cut right. They put him in the picture. Cool, though. You know what I'm saying?
We finally have a waterproof Arcade One Up that we've been asking for.
This guy says, Turbo Joe, my man, this is a one that come without a riser. This is a Baby Cade.
So it's a bigger counter cade. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, I'm so. First of all, I want to know what is the price point for this. That's one. And is this do they really feel like there's a market for this?
Hey, this is about
Like
$200.
Babies are us.
right here. $200 straight up.
So Matt Dad, is this real or not?
I think it is, bro. Just looking at it, because I mean, reason why I say that is because they went with the one game that all people like, which is Pac-Man. You already know that. That's why I think it's real. Now, if it had something else on it, I don't know, Galaga or something like that, I wouldn't. But they got, come on, man. The kids.
And it's Pac-Man, so that's their go-to move.
It's a stick. It's big enough for the. I'm just saying, if you just look at everything on there, I don't know what the big button's for. Maybe that's Galaga, where you just tap the. You know what I mean?
That's the detonating button.
You said
Saucy.
$4.99?
Is it real? $4.99. Listen, if that's $4.99, yeah. Oh my God, no.
Man, you gotta understand. There's people like me that are gonna go out there shopping, and if people like me have got kids like that age,
yeah,
you're gonna buy it, right? I mean, if it's there, it's a thing for those kids. You're gonna buy it because it pulls at your heartstrings, and you want to share it with your kids. So, I agree with Mad Dad. It's got Pac-Man on it. Arcade 1-Up is infamous for putting Pac-Man on everything. I think it's real.
Maybe that button is like a light, where it lights up the market. I don't
Justin
know.
and Ralph manifested this into reality.
Dude, they probably was in the lab like, we got to get on this.
And it looks good,
This is true.
Whoever did this, I'm just saying, if it's not real, because I'm looking at it and how, like you said, Fisher Price, you know how their stuff looks. It just looks like
it's that plastic,
like it has the plastic thing, and
yeah.
I mean, just the way it looks like it's gonna be, where I don't know how it's gonna connect. Is it like one of those little, like the sit down, you know what I mean? Like it just snaps in on the sides or something like that.
If this is fake, somebody did an amazing job.
Yeah, that's
with
what
that,
I'm saying.
that picture.
Great.
Wow. So Rainwater, from what you're saying, it sounds like you're in agreement that it's real.
I think that is actually real. I think the fact that we were all joking about the babycade is just a total coincidence.
It's a coincidence,
and this was planned the whole time, or maybe Justin and Ralph knew about this and they were basing the joke on this.
That's a possibility. Out of anything you said, that's probably more of what probably happened. I'm still going to.
No one's going to believe this. Let's just make a joke out of it. No one's going to believe it.
I'm still leaning towards that this is not real. Oh. I'm going to be the one out of the panel that says that this is not real. If this is real, I'm afraid to know what the price point is because
it's real. They're trying to make up for they're trying to make up for that ugly Pac-Man. They're trying to make up for that. You know what I mean?
That's buried, dead and gone. Nobody even talks about it.
That's 150 though. So if you look at it, that was 150. What do you? I mean, this right here, whatever Fisher Price, whatever.
It better not be. Like, this better not be over $300,
man. 250.
If this is over $300, I think I might have a heart attack.
Wood is very expensive right now, so maybe that's where they went to plastic. They decided wood.
If you're doing this for a kid, it probably has to be plastic. It probably has to be because I could see a kid kicking through the kick plate. Like those kick plates are like paper thin. So
it's gonna be that hard plastic like the My Buddy's head. Yes, that's how old I am. I know. Have y'all seen that My Buddy? Y'all no? Nobody knows about that?
Oh yeah.
No,
we know it.
Yeah, that's how old I am. So,
we're gonna hop off the arcade 1-Up train, and we're gonna go into another territory, the Evercade. So I don't know if anybody heard about this. Yesterday, they basically announced that they're going to be releasing 4 cartridges. You could pre-order it on the 28th, but in November when it drops, there'll be 4 cartridges exclusively to arcade games from 4 publishers. You know, the horrors of the retro world, Data East, and its cousin Atari. So those 2 cartridges. You have Technos. So and
Galeco.
Yeah, forgive me for the pronunciation. Basically, everything that's on the Legends Ultimate is going to be in these 4 cartridges. So, I don't know who their target market is, to be quite honest with you, because there's so many ways to play these particular games. Like these ones, they're there, and iArcade has a lot of them as well. So, for us personally, it probably is not appealing because we already have ways to play them. But they got to be, they had to have done some kind of marketing to say this is something that people want. So, Mad Dads, are you excited about it? If so, why or why not?
Well, man, collecting stuff. You know how we do. We collect stuff all the time. Everybody has their own little collection. You got rainwater in the back. We got a bunch of stuff back there. I mean, everybody has their own collection. So it's the same thing. They're targeting really like the older people, tell you the truth, because we like the physical back in the day, Nintendo blow, put it in type of cartridges. So we got that. once you got that put on there and you just start playing it, it's just like a Super Nintendo, or you know what I mean. It's like one of those things brings you back. And arcade, yeah, you know how the kids are, man. They don't really like standing up and playing arcade sometimes, so they like to sit down. They can do that and actually play some games, then you're good to go. It'd be like kind of like the Gamer Pro, you know what I mean? But I think it's pretty good. I think it's gonna probably sell because if they keep the price point right, you know.
Rainwater, since you're so close to iArcade and a lot of these titles are on there now, especially them announcing
Thanks,
the Data East games on there. Now, this is what I'm going to say before we, I'm pivoting a little bit. For iArcade, that's a big thing because they finally got some titles that are known titles. Like everybody knows Burger Time.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Bad Dudes. They may not be AAA, but they're known titles. So I think it's a big thing for iArcade. In terms of the Evercade, though, for me, I am not interested in playing arcade games on a console, on my couch.
You hit it on the nose right
or
there.
anywhere.
I can play Heavy Barrel and Bad Dudes and everything on this little thing that I got from Ross's for $20 too, right? So I've got a ton of ways that I can play these games. And I'll tell you what, I have an Evercade and I've got the collector bug, right? I'm like, gotta get all the carts, gotta get them all, right? You gotta collect them all. But I'm kind of glad that they started the arcade ones with a purple color, a different color, because I'm looking at all four of these cards and I'm like, I don't want any of those. So I'm all about collect all the. I'm gonna get all the console ones, but those four new arcade ones, I'm out. Like, because I've got 100 different ways to play those, and like you said, I don't want to play arcade games on a little handheld. I just no.
There was one little thing there that kind of got me excited, and it was buried in the media press. The media press is that right now they don't have any plans to launch with Wi-Fi, but that machine has Wi-Fi capabilities. And so they believe in the future
the VS
the VS will implement online gameplay. If they do that, that would be the saving grace. That would probably pique my interest. But other than that, I don't see it.
See, and I don't think they're going to sell out of these cartridges. Like if a year later you just decide, you know what, I do want to go back and pick up those arcade carts. They'll probably still be available, right? So
yeah, that's why I would hold out on it if you could do it, because you got to believe that the peer-to-peer is going to be a lot better because you both have the physical cartridges, so you're not streaming anything, you're just doing peer-to-peer connection. So I'm assuming that it would be a better experience than cloud gaming. MeatballSaucey, you're the expert in ArcadeNet from this panel. So how do you feel about these games, knowing that you have all those games in the @Games ArcadeNet?
Yeah, I mean that's the bottom line is, the hope of online play, the hope of online. Well, I've got online play. Why do I need a console that gives me something I've already got? I mean, the Evercade is a great console emulation platform for the collectors, and I think it's great. But I just think the arcade move is not the right thing for them, and it doesn't interest me at all. I've got other ways to do this, and my guess is iArcade is going to beat Evercade to the online punch and get those games working over a network before we'll see anything out of Evercade.
And it's going to be in the right format because it's going to be on our arcade sticks. Like,
exactly.
I don't know who's this, because it can't be. I don't think it's for kids because those titles are not really interested for kids. And this is big in Europe, so maybe because of, I don't know, lack of space, because of living over there, maybe not everybody is interested in having an arcade unit. I know that it costs a lot to get things over there in terms of arcade cabinets. So maybe it's a cost-effective thing to have a console that has those capabilities. But I don't
David
think.
Hasselhoff is
Yeah,
pretty
not
popular
everybody,
with it though, right?
has all the stuff that that we. That's what I'm saying. That like that we have and have the ability to get all this stuff. So I mean, just somebody going in there and getting something, just going out and just buying something like this and having those games without having to do all the stuff that we do. I mean, it might be a little it's a benefit for them. And like you said, all them the people that it's probably a little bit more expensive over there to get arcades and can't get them as quick as we can. So I mean, yeah, they're gonna buy something that already has that has those titles and call it a day. Because I don't know how much the Legends is over there for 1,000. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there's people that want this stuff,
Yeah.
right? I mean, but I think it's just us.
Yeah.
We've got 100 ways to play this stuff, and it's like
Adam is on your thought process. It's not targeted for us. And I can see that. Like that's why I mentioned like for our core demographic, it's not. But there's studies probably tell them that there's enough of a market for this to be beneficial for them. So Adam 12, I think you're right. I think you're right. At the same time, it's not for me, or I guess for us.
I'm still probably going to get the VS just
because
I've already got
you're a
all
sucker.
those other carts, right?
Because you're a sucker. You're like that same person that buys all the Pac-Man. Like I'm tired of them making Pac-Man, but I don't have this Pac-Man and I need it. Though I'm tired of them making it.
I need one more Pac-Man cat.
Go ahead and show us the stick, man. There you got it.
It's probably back there. He probably got the Pac-Man board game and everything. I know you look at it. It was a sale on that, by the way.
I do have a Pac-Man board game.
So we beat that like a dead horse. Now we're coming up to my favorite topic of them all is the Legends Pinball, right? A lot of us guys have got it, except and whoever on the panel who doesn't have it is probably lame. But most of us got it, right? Wait a minute, this guy. I can't even point right. This guy. Anyway, so
I don't have any of the virtual pinballs. I got so little space in here because all this cardboard.
Listen, if you get rid of all those damn, get yourself the infinity table, downgrade some of this, or put that in a shed somewhere. Please. I'm gonna talk to the wife. That's who we really need to speak to. Because if we speak to her, things will happen. But that's okay. I digress. We're talking about the Legends Pinball because it's an awesome unit. Personally, I think it's the king of the virtual pinball, at least at this price point. I'm sure you could spend $5,000 and get something better. But if you want to be under $1,000, I think this is the best one, especially with adding the additional games from Zakaria. You got 115 plus the 22. That's a lot of games. That for a normal person will be satisfying. However, we are not.
Are you giving one of those away at your 1,000 subs? Giving away
maybe at the 5,000. Maybe at the 5K.
5,000, you gonna give one?
Let's make it happen.
Listen, no. But Bobby's giving away one with a custom back box. So there you go. But like I was saying, this at $750 at the new price point now, $850 with shipping. I still think you're getting a great deal. But does it mean that there's not opportunity for improvement? Right? One of the things that most people probably will tell you if they really want to be honest, because I'm not a fanboy. I love ad games, but there's room for improvement, and that's room for improvement for any product. Their exciters on this is not very exciting. Okay? They're not the best. And you have to see, how do you save money? Probably not giving you the best exciters. Granted, everything else to me personally is pretty good. The back glass, before purchasing it, I was like, I need a bigger back glass. After getting it, I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I still would want bigger because I'm an American, but it's not as bad as you think. I would take away all the logos. I would put a DMD that would be lower to the bottom, so you don't. If you're really playing pinball and you try to look up to that back glass, it's a little too far. If it has a little DMD in the bottom, it would be better, right? So all these things that I'm complaining about, there's a guy on this panel who fixed all those things. So without further ado, let's jump into MeatballSaucey's knowledge. Meatball, what was the first thing you did when you got that Legends Pinball?
Yeah, DMD, man. I mean, there was just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was kind of a at any cost type scenario. I was willing to tear this thing and break it to get a DMD available for my OTG stuff. To your point of having it too big or too small or too high or too low, I think there's the stuff that Cool Toy and B Kong and Bobby Vu have all done is phenomenal, and I'd really love to see some configuration options with that. But for me, you're right, it's just too high. It's got to be on that speaker level to where I can give it a glance, and if it's a video play or something, I can just quickly look at it and don't have to crane my head up. I can still see playfield happening.
So, again, in a traditional sense, you want it lower so you could just glance at it. You're not looking too far from the play field, and that other stuff that really is for the people that's in the room watching you play.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
If you're playing like you're supposed to be playing, you don't got time to look at videos. You don't got time for the extra glamour, let's say. But it's nice to have. It's nice to have.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love having it. In fact, you toss in a new pinup pack and you get all the cool videos on Spider-Man or whatever it is that you're putting on there, and you got the action happening on the topper and the call outs coming out and the cool sequences and the live motion movie playing in sync with the game. The first few times I'm draining just because I'm watching that stuff to check it out. You don't play it for the score on the first one. You're just checking out the videos. Then after that, you're absolutely right. It's for the people watching the game and not for you. But it's still I couldn't imagine not having it.
Now, one of the things, like, I learned this from you in terms of the modifying. You said the probably, other than the DMD, you said that was nice, but you said the most satisfying, I would, if I'm paraphrasing what you're saying, the most satisfying upgrade that you've made that made the biggest difference was probably the surround sound feedback. And so elaborate on that.
Yeah. Having the visuals is great, but being able to feel your table and feel the ball roll and have it feel realistic is phenomenal. And the way those VPX tables are set up with those surround sound coding, once you've got it, it takes it to a whole new level. It's not just the fact that, you could theoretically close your eyes and time shots. I've done it. It just adds something really big to the game and how it hits.
So we have a video of your build here in action. So we're gonna play it here. Now, do you hear that? Do you hear the flipper? Like,
I don't know
if you close your eyes and didn't know that this was a virtual pinball, you would believe that was real flippers. That action there. Just listen to it.
I don't know if the audio is coming through. Are you guys hearing it okay?
No.
No, I don't think the audio's coming through.
Okay.
You don't hear it?
No.
All right, let me play that back then, because I'm not doing it justice if you can't hear the sound. Yeah, there. I just saw that there. Okay, let's do that again. Let me take this off. Boom.
What's up, y'all?
I want to see you.
That's it. Yeah, they do. What's up, y'all?
No one wants to see you. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. So I want you to pay attention to the sounds of the flippers and the sounds of the ball rolling, because you don't get that from ad games because of the exciters. It's just not powerful enough, or they don't have enough of them. And MeatballSaucey will go over the configuration so you can really get the most out of that. But I want you to listen to that.
Okay, turn off SF and FX3 by itself. You can hear table sound. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down on the table. Then,
so this is only FX sound effects, correct?
Correct. This is
and you can hear the surround sound feedback coming directly from the flipper. There it is. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep, this is a mod. Yeah, sorry, echoing.
Try again.
Modification.
Can you feel it or just hear it?
Whoa. We're echoing a lot.
I took off the screen.
Okay,
so.
there we go. Yeah, so it's a special modification for any non-VPX games. So Zakaria from Steam work, FX3 works, and Future Pinball all work utilizing this modification. And Jeff, to answer your question, yeah, you absolutely can feel it. It is extremely powerful because that sound that you're hearing is literally coming. It's resonating on the wood right next to that flipper button.
And so, do you think one of the reasons why the exciters for the Legends Pinball is not working, because Retro Ralph alluded to this when he got it, is that he feels that the reasons why it's not so pronounced is because it's vibrating against the plastic and not against the actual wood, even though they're kind of smaller as well. He had mentioned. Would you agree with that, or do you think that's a design flaw? What do you think is the reason behind that?
Yeah, I absolutely don't agree with the design decision to put it up on the top of the control panel. I mean, that's where you rest your hands, but anybody who's playing it, you're not putting pressure down enough to actually feel that your pressure is on the button. When you're pushing the button, that's where your pressure point is, and your connection to the cabinet. That being said, I am an at games fanboy, and I'm telling you right now, the overall implementation of haptic feedback is garbage. They did a terrible job. I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know what it was, but the tables are not coded for it. The sound does not come through even even if you split it out into a stereo line. It's just it wasn't a good implementation, and so you can mod it to make it better, but it's been bad.
So he also mentioned, and I have to agree with this. I can attest that the sound is actually being fed through that same wire. So, like, I was playing Point Ops X, and I can hear the music. Now, that shouldn't be if it's done if it's done correctly.
That's what I'm saying. The implementation and how they're directing it was poor. Now, I can't speak for what their future plans are, and if that line is designed to do something else maybe in the future, but in its current iteration for the control deck and for the stock deck, it's not the right way to implement that type of haptic.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. When you pull up the control panel, there's a couple of extra wires that are basically they're not connected to anything. Is that something you think that they would be using for additional exciters or additional hardware that we'll be seeing in the future? Because it just doesn't make sense to have those wires just dangling there for no reason.
Yeah, I mean they're controller inputs, so I'm not really sure how they can be used. Um, we can speculate all day long. I don't see a need once you go beyond the control inputs from the deck that are going through USB. I just don't know if they were trying to plan for a future of this control deck and they weren't yet done with a design on how they were going to implement it. And so, yeah, there's a lot of extra control buttons hanging off there that theoretically could be plugged into anything.
Which would make sense because when you do the mapping of the control panel to like joy key, you're missing some numbers. You go from 1 to 7. So that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. So let's go back to the video here because it does. It's a good video. So.
Same deal on Future Pinball Casino Royale. We'll go ahead and turn down the volume. Add some credits. Go ahead and start the table. There it is. All right, we'll use some plunger action. Sweet. But there you go. There's the same haptic feedback we're hearing in the FX3. And again, here we are now in Zakaria Pinball for Steam, running on the same PC. Go ahead and pull the plunger, shoot the ball. You can hear it. We'll go ahead and turn down the table sounds again and just push the plunger buttons. There you go. And there's your haptic feedback. Okay, showing up.
So
Nice.
now,
Good job, man.
first of all, great job. Now you can take it another notch with like if you have certain games that are built for that what is it visual pinball, there's not a lot, but there's visual pinball tables that have all the coding that's directly, not like when you do FX3, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the FX3 and all that really is a hack through DOF-Links. It's got a custom pinup pack that really just reads the button push and then fires off a sound through a specific surround sound speaker. So it's a hack. It's not built into the table itself. Whereas the VPX tables or Visual Pinball 10, those tables are coded with surround sound. So you get the full stereoscopic thing happening on your table, and when it's hitting the bumpers, you can hear it chugging back in the back corner, and then if it rolls across the screen, you can hear it, and the rails actually have a metallic sound. It's hard to explain how metal and metal rolling on metal sounds and feels. It's just an experience you have to try, but yeah, I mean it really is next level.
Yeah, I'm just surprised of what you can do. Just adding, it's probably the most expensive mod that you did to your thing, right? But
yeah,
it brought so much more value to your game. Just the experience, overall experience. You start bringing it up to a level where, yeah, it's not the 5,000 unit, but you're getting damn near close to what you would be getting in terms of that. So that's really cool. So we have that. Then the next thing that you probably do is your screens. You have a DMD, you have the working back glass, you've added the Rachel board to it. So that really tied up everything for you. Then you have tell me the other two screens, what they're named.
Yeah, the topper screen. Yep.
You have a topper, but there's another screen too, right?
Nope. Just the back glass, the topper, and the DMD are what's in the back glass. Yep.
But you did mention that you were trying to go for 4.
I am investigating an apron.
Apron one. And what would that be for?
So you've seen the table, and it's got kind of the displays of like the instructions and things like that, right? You can get those to be super high resolution and display and change, and you can do whatever you want.
So you can have the rules there the whole time. You don't have to go to a menu or anything like that. It would
you could just have them right there. Yeah.
That would be awesome because it really takes you out of the game when you pause the game to read those rules and having to go back. So that's interesting. And that's something I didn't think of.
Yeah, it's just a configurable screen. So you could theoretically put topper video. You could put your DMD on it. You could put whatever you want to display on that screen. If you're like me and obsessed with like football, you can have like a ticker there of all the, the winning teams like Giants or the Yankees. These two guys. Okay. You can take it to the next level. Put a TV capture card on your PC and watch the game on the screen, man. Watch it live.
Listen. That's next level, bro. That's next level. And you also have a subwoofer added to this to your surround sound feedback thing, right?
Correct.
Oh, man.
So, MeatballSaucey, I think, is kind of like the king in terms of this because I will tell you, it's not as easy as some might think, though it's not hard, but there's some tweaking that you have to do because of, you're dealing with community-based tables, different configurations. You're dealing with and the ad games unit that's not like other units. So there's things that you have to factor in. So actually, MeatballSaucey has a document of the products that he has purchased, the parts list for this. So I'm going to add that in the description down below. He does some really good information in terms of that. So I would hack it up if I tried it myself. We'll let the expert do what the experts do, right? Right. So, is there any other plans other than the apron for the baby, or do you feel like you have come? Because a lot of people say with virtual pinball, you're never done. You're never done because there's always things that are being implemented, or you could do this, you could do that. Is there any plans of like any other upgrades?
I don't think so. I seriously investigated getting the LED strips to do the runners to actually track the ball as it moves forward and back, and so that if you fire it, you got the running ball coming up, and if it's coming down, it'll track and kind of do a cascading LED strips. The problem with the ALP is that the screen frame and the way it's angled, you would be literally getting direct lights flashing instead of the way it's supposed to be implemented, where it's more of just kind of a glow happening. So I'm not going to go that route. But so I think if I do the apron screen, that would be it.
How do you even do that? Like, how do you get it to know? How do you get the LEDs to know that that's where the ball is at?
So because it's all an electronic signal, it's not a real table. It's
right.
The program knows where the ball is, and so there's a controller that is programmed underneath that you then just tie directly into your LED strip, and it fires it off.
That's crazy. That's like, dude, I spent like an hour and 20 minutes just to get my Legends Mini working. You guys can watch that stream.
If you want your brain to hurt, this is why I'm doing PE, because it's like pinball for dummies. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. That's why I'm doing it. That and the amount of time. But I was watching videos from Terry Red, and you have to be laser focused to get all the little idiosyncrasies and things to get this thing to work right. Because you miss one little thing, you're like, don't try to be like, oh, I'll just skip to the end and I'll do this. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You watching all 30 minutes of that video and you're paying attention. So, whatchamacallit, Rainwater, when you do it, just do PE with me. Me and you do the dummies. We're good. If you join the club,
there's three types of guys out there, right? There's the guys that they read the rule, the manual, and they follow it to a T. There's the guys that see the manual and they go, I don't need a manual, and they throw the manual. And then there's guys like me who I see the manual and I go, and I hand it to my 12-year-old and I let him do it. That's me. My 12-year-old built half of my iArcade. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure. Like you could tell, like in difference of times, like we would read the instructions for certain things. Like a little kid now, they're putting up video game systems, not looking at any kind of things because it's they've been raised that way. Mad Dash, you got anything to add to this, or any questions that you want to ask Saucy? I'm sorry, I was greedy because I was nerding out a little. My apologies.
It's tight. I don't know how you did that. Just like Bobby, but the meatball man, when the pinball, that's you all the way, man. My king on that thing. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
Just seeing everything that you've done, especially on the videos and everything, it's great. Like I said, I started out with with Pinno Popper and stuff like that, and I had that on my little toy shock I did. But other than that, man, just the time. That's why I haven't done anything yet, because just the time I spent on just that little toy shock trying to get everything just right. It just takes you. If you just want something easy, like y'all said, Pinball Emporium, stuff like that, you can do that and then you'll be fine. But trying to do all the other stuff,
it's not as pretty. It's not as pretty.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like I love Pinball Emporium because of the accessibility and how easy it is, and how it has brought in a whole other audience to this. There's a larger audience, so people are able to appreciate it. Like I'm sure a lot of us probably had no idea about virtual pinball until these two companies came out with these. So that's why I really like Pinball Emporium. But when you look at MeatballSaucey's setup and you see his menu, you see all the things, you start salivating, like, I wish I could do that. I wish. And don't get me wrong, like when you use Pinno Popper now, that the Nail Busters thing, it makes it a little easier. So you can follow it. So if you really want that, invest the time and do it.
Well, I remember
it's
going
a lot
to
of time, so don't. I mean,
they do this.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say they do this arcade, and well, they didn't last year because of COVID, but they do this arcade and pinball show in Tacoma, Washington, every year around this time, actually. And I remember I've gone to it a few times, and I remember going to it and seeing a virtual pinball there back before all of these ones that we talk about today existed. And I was just like, what is this? This is not even a real pinball machine. It's like a video pinball. And I remember asking the guy, I'm like, how much are these things? And they were like pricey back then. The guy was like, oh, it's like $12,000 or something like. I mean, it's like ridiculous. And I'm just like, whoa,
like if you look for a cheap one, I'm talking about a cheap one, like a China knockoff.
Yeah,
you're probably spending $5K, and then you don't want to talk about shipping. So the fact that they got this to us under $1,000 and 1080p, 60 frames per second, you had to make some concessions.
No, wait. Now, is it 1080p or is just the software's 1080p, but the screen is 720, right?
Well, if you go for a cheap knockoff like Arcade 1-Up, then yes.
Okay. I'm thinking of the Arcade 1-Up.
Okay. So I mean, yes, then yeah. But if let me not speak bad about Arcade 1-Up because Kongs R Us is in the chat, and I don't want him to get upset because he loves himself. He loves himself the Arcade 1-Up pinball. And I mean, to each your own. I will tell you, if I had to choose, right here, Arcade 1-Up. If I had little kids in the house and that wanted to play pinball, I'm picking the Arcade 1-Up because it's easy to play. I turn it on, you're playing, and that's it. But for me as an adult, I'm going to go with the Legends Pinball because I like bigger things. I like things to work like the nudge. I like seeing things in 1080. You can't tell me after watching a 4K television to go back to 480p. I just can't do it.
Like going from broadband to back to dial-up, right?
I'll be eating steak and you want me to eat a hot dog? Nah, bro. Nah, I ain't going backwards. So,
No, but they're supposed to be rumored. Just do that right quick, right? That they're supposed to be updating those boards. So I don't know.
You can update the boards all you want, but if that's not spitting out 1080p, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. They're supposed to be updating the board to 1080p.
The boards, all it's going to do is going to make sure that game that doesn't works, or the possibility of giving you Wi-Fi. But it's not going to change the fact that unit is not strong enough to run 1080p. I don't think I think that's going to be a next generation thing. I don't think that they're going to give us a board that's going to be strong enough to run 1080p. I just can't see that.
Monitor in there, but it's 720p.
That's because they don't make 720p monitors, so they had to put a 1080p. But their hardware is not strong enough.
Okay, but hold up. The Wave 1 arcade 1-ups had worse monitors. They moved to Wave 2. They had better monitors, better viewing angles and stuff. How do we know that they're not like the next set of arcade 1-ups? They're not going to be 1080. And maybe
I'm sure that they're going to make improvements. But if you're a person right now that spent $700, $600, whatever, you're not happy.
Yeah,
you're not happy. Don't tell me about what's happening next. I spent my money now, and it's not.
That's why I saved my money. I haven't bought either of them. I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold out for the better ones.
You see what I'm saying? I'm happy if they wanted to play some Marvel, they could jump right over there.
Yeah,
okay? And then don't touch mine. Okay, just go over here.
No, I'm saying there is a market for what they have. There's people that don't want to do what we did to our pinballs.
Yeah.
They don't want to hook up a computer to the pinball. They just want to turn it on, know that if I press the right flipper, it's going to go to the right game. If I press the left flipper, it's going to go to the left game. I press and it's going to say
So, hey,
one thing I will say though about Legends Pinball is that when you talk about hooking up a computer is a stock function, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a function that you just plug two plugs into the port, and your computer is now a piece of the ALP, and you can play. So, but when it comes to Arcade 1-Up, that's not a thing. That's a mod, and so you really do have to mod it to get the PC onto the system. So, that to me is that expandability and options is really the big value proposition within the app games, and always has been on the arcades too.
Most people just buy. I'm not gonna lie. If you had a game room and that's all you had was your friends come over, if you have more than 2 friends, if you had that many, and then you saw that, just saying, it's kind of like a showpiece, really. I know that's why
it is.
Buy it.
It's functional furniture.
Showpiece because, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. If you look at the Star Wars one, if you look at the Marvel one, even the Attack from Mars, if you look at those, just coming in the room, if you didn't even see them before, and you came right into the room, you'd be like, oh my God, what is that? And that's why most people, I'm just going to tell you, most people just buy it just for the showpiece.
But you could take your at games one, turn it into a showpiece, because right, if you've got the hardware there, you just need to make it look pretty. You do it.
That's all it is. I'll tell you.
I noticed something though, y'all.
This is the Star Trek one.
It's a whole different thing.
Did he do that? Or
but I noticed something, man.
It's awesome.
I'm talking about multiple stuff. What I'm saying. Yeah.
If you're trying to make your thing look like an arcade,
you
can get those 3 pins together. Like you could look like Michael B. and have an arcade in your thing. So yes.
And you got somebody playing over here. You got somebody playing over there. And like I said, even B has it. He has his modded Star Wars one, so people can play on that one. And then he has this new one, the At Games one. That now you can play everything on. So it's pretty cool.
But if there only could be one king,
I got you. We already know what that is.
The II pinball.
One king.
You see that segue? That's it. This is the II pinball.
No. Maybe. He got the sound. He got to do it.
Yeah. They're not doing that.
We're done with the pinball. We're gonna finish off with one more topic, and then we're gonna have someone pay off their debt. So the other topic, and this came later down the line, is it's IR Arcade making moves. They got a big publisher to come aboard, and that's Data East. So they're getting what 7 games. You probably know them better than me, but I do know that Burger Time is one of them, and Michael B's favorite, Bad Dudes, is on there as well. Now, again, we have a number of ways to play these games, but it's something special when you're able to play them on our arcade, and it's even better when you're playing them natively. Arcade, Ad Games has a couple of those that are running natively, and then they have a couple of them that are running on the cloud gaming. I'm not a fan of it. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. So, and as you know, as time goes, it will get better. We have to play those games in order for them to get better, because they're not gonna. If we're not playing them, why would they fix it? Why would they fix it? We have to utilize the services. So the fact that they're doing these tournaments on there, it's going to get more people excited. I'm more excited about it. I know MeatballSaucey is excited about it, and hopefully Rainwater learns how to turn on his Gamer Mini Pro and gets into that, because he will be excited about it. And Mad Dad, he's always on there playing. So there, he got it right there in the background, looking all sexy. The machine, not you, bro. Not you.
I know. I know.
So the fact that iArcade is getting those titles is really exciting, because now you're getting games that people actually know. A lot of the times you're like, what game is that? And it may be a gem. It's a gem. You play like, wow, this game is fun. But to get the common user that is going to be walking through Walmart, you're not going to get those kind of titles. You need the Pac-Mans. You need the Burger Times. You need the Bad Dudes. Those titles that, okay, I know that game. I want to get that. So I think he's making a lot of noise in terms of that, and bringing some eyes from probably other publishers. You have to get these titles in order to get the next title.
I think he needs to put out tell you the truth, I think he needs to put out something. You know how everything goes. Everybody has a commercial or something. You know what I mean? Because tell you the truth, I mean, only way people are going to really, that I know about it, is because I saw it.
How do you know about Arcade 1-Up? Because Arcade 1-Up just
I saw it
recently did a commercial. They don't do commercials.
I saw it. I'm just saying, you need something to show out. Yes, we had YouTube and stuff. That's how I found out actually about our arcade that was coming out. I went to YouTube and I was like, oh, that's coming out, and I went and did the little Kickstarter thing. And then the Arcade 1-Up, and like you said, yeah, they didn't have it at first. I guess they were just trying to figure it out. But now everything on their site changed. You know how it is. Everybody, once they get a little bigger, they threw out their first part. Now they're a little bigger now. Now everything looks good. If you look at the site, they finally got everything kind of sorted out right. And it wasn't like it was before. The customer service that I know of, since I haven't really been messing with too much of them anymore, but has gotten better, as people has told me. So all that stuff, with the monitor replacements and all that stuff, is the old monitors kind of suck. But now the newer ones, they're not going out as much, and everybody, the joysticks are not going out because they. I did a video on that where they changed the joystick for the first time, and then they changed that joystick and put a better joystick. And yes, they did put better buttons in there first too, because they had some sorry buttons in the beginning, even though they still do. But they're not better. They're adding it. You know what I'm saying? They're getting better. Okay. But and then the 19-inch. So for people for iArcade online play, you already know that. That's online. Just the online ability to be able to add more games without having to go. To another, the store and then buy another arcade. So you got that. And then you got like I said, the 19-inch monitor. That's what people are going to look at. Oh, it's a pretty big monitor. And then the actual, if you buy the black edition or the higher editions, you got the Swanza controls and buttons and all of that. So you don't have to upgrade that stuff.
So
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for these new games is not the games themselves. To me, like some of these games are like, nah, do I really want to play Burger Time with an 8-way joystick? Not really, but it's the fact that they've got another big license. Because if you go to like Capcom and you're like, Capcom, we want your games, and they go, well, what other companies are you already working with? And you're like, well, Psycho and Orange Pixel, and then they're going to be like, get out of my kitchen, right? But you go, well, we got Psycho, we got Orange Pixel, we got Taito, we've got Sega, we got Data East, we just want you guys to join the party. And then it's like, oh well, okay, and so it's like the more that they get, it snowballs, right? So all these people that are like, when are they gonna get Street Fighter 2 and all this? It's like, well,
you got to put in the
build
work
up to that. Yeah,
you got to put in the work to get
this
that.
is one more stepping stone.
So us three, we have it. Let's hear from a guy who doesn't have it, and does that excite you? Is that going to be the reason you're going to open up that wallet?
Right now, they're $100 off.
So I think I posted this in the chat last night, but it's the 100. I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence. I'm leaning. The $100 made me lean really far, but then the game announcements came out, and I had to step back and go, oh, okay, we just got a developer, and it's an arcade, and it's sold arcade, and I'm not hearing the stuff I want to hear. Dead Cells was a big one for me. I was like, what? Dead Cells? Oh, hey, that's the kind of developer and title that I'm looking for. Is let me see some of those Steam arcade compatible games get on board with iArcade, and then I'm done. I don't even care if the $100 sale, if I miss it, I start to see those games pop in there, and I'm going to pull the trigger. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what I need to see out of iArcade, and I'll be an owner. I got a spot right here for it, right next to where Killer Instinct's going.
All right, man. I'm gonna start playing a little bit more for you, so that way I get you, to get in this community.
All you need is Slurpee. It's got Slurpee. So, what more do you need to know?
If I would have known,
that's not a selling point,
buddy. If I would have known that, I would have hit you up in a Kickstarter.
You haven't played Slurpee yet. I don't know.
But that's why you bought it. I mean, that's why you bought this. I bought it because of like I said, I'm waiting for the game. So this one kind of like stays here until there's a game that I want, which that's what I'm saying. That's the best point of it. It's the game that you want. Yes, you can play it on your other ones, but if it's a game that you want to actually play on this, go to the site, order it. It's on here, a couple of seconds, depending on your internet, and you got it. You know what I mean? So that's why I like this. I don't have to buy every game that comes out. I don't have to do that. I could just buy exactly what I want on it and play it, and I'm done.
That's precisely why I got involved with the iArcade to begin with, right? Is because I looked at this and I said, do I want, and nothing against like the coin ops and Legends Ultimate and all the, graphics and names and all this, but did I want something that was going to have thousands of games where you're just going to spend half the time sifting through the menus and scrolling through the wheels and all this? Or do I want something where I can pick the games I specifically want on there? Maybe it's only a dozen games. Maybe it's 50 or 100 games, but I picked those games. And I know that those are ones that I'm going to want to play. And it's like you can kind of craft your own arcade out of it. It's got 200 games. You don't have to get all 200 of those games. You might just have 4 or 5 of them that you really wanted. Just buy those, and it's like you make your own arcade one up. Pick your games.
The iArcade is probably the most unique arcade cabinet in the market because it has a 2-pronged approach. You can get your retro games, you can get your modern games, whether it's in the mobile form, whether it's a Nintendo Switch or PlayStation 4 port. That's pretty unique. Like I had posted today of the Contra Reimagined, and I think that game is
I saw that
right up iArcade's alley to give you that old school feel in a modern format. That's cool, and I don't right now. The games, the units that we have in our homes don't have those capabilities. Yes, you can do it with the ad games, but then you got to implement streaming. And again, there's some people who just don't, even if it's easy, they don't want to plug in a computer into their units. They just want to turn it on and deal with it, especially if you have kids around too. You don't, putting in other pieces, it becomes more of a hassle than it is entertaining. For us adults, it might be easy to just turn it on. And if you're like MeatballSaucey, you hit all the wires and you got everything hidden, it's probably pretty easy. So that's what excites me in terms of the iArcade, the abilities of what it can do. I just think that, like MeatballSaucey said, it just needs to hit one or two out the park, and it really is going to make a difference. And I think that's really, if you really want to be honest, I really think that's why iArcade probably lowered down the price point, because you probably have to get a certain number, right, in terms of sales and in terms of a market, just to go to Capcom, or to go to whatever would have you
They
say.
might have been right at that threshold.
Yeah.
Right. Like maybe they're like, maybe Capcom or whatever, they might say you need 5,000 units and they're sitting at like 4,200 or something. Like, we need to just sell these last 800 units or whatever, so they just like drop the price by,
you gotta understand,
and we'll get there.
I'm sure that they thought about it, like, listen, we just need to get more people on this. And like, listen, you have now a partnership with Walmart. I think they have one with Amazon. They have one with Touch of Modern. They have places picking this up. And, at the same time, you don't want to drop it too much because you don't want to lose that premium label, right? So it's a catch-22. But they really need to get one or two titles, just one or two, that really is going to be like, you know what? I'm getting it. Even like Retro Ralph mentioned this on his show. We have 10 million ways to play Street Fighter 2. 10 million ways. But if they got a Street Fighter 2, it probably would entice people just because, like, listen, I have Street Fighter 2 on it. So
what if they were just trying to make space in their warehouse for the II racing cabinets?
It's a possibility. That's a possibility, bro. But I don't know. What do you
be the next
think
logical
about it?
step to go, right? If they were going to make it more hardware, I think they'd go to a racing cabinet.
I think it's easier. I think it's easier to do a shooting cap, to be honest with you. But I mean,
they don't have the send-in technology.
No, they don't. But they can get that gun for IR. They can get that.
Gun for IR is the way to go now, right?
I think that's the way to go. And you get them now while they're still small. You could probably get give them a good deal.
Are there that many shooting games that they could get licenses for to make that worth it, though?
Yes, they have. First of all, they have the major one, the Sega. Mm-hmm. Sega has probably some of the best shooting licenses out there. And like then you could probably get, Mortal Kombat and I'm not Mortal Kombat, Midway. Those are the two publishers that have the best shooting games to me, in general. You got Time Crisis. It's just so many. Not just one. Come on.
How many?
House of the Dead is 3.
Run out real quick.
You got you got 3 on House of the Dead. You got 2 on Time Crisis, 2 or 3 on Time Crisis. And if you did Area 51, Maximum Force, what is it, Terminator 2, that's enough for a cabinet.
Right, but I'm saying the business model that iArcade goes with. Look at what they're doing. They're launching titles.
Yeah, you want titles
every week. They can't do that with a shooter. They'll run out of titles super fast. If they say every week we're going to put 10 titles out,
but
how many weeks can they do that for? Because they can't even release Retromania, so we got
right now. I'm in the beta on that, and I haven't got my hands on it yet. So
yeah, so we got.
I don't know when that's coming out, but sorry to say for everybody who's like, I hope it's coming this Friday. It's like I still don't have
it
it
because it's going to be Thursday and you ain't got it yet. So
they're going to be like,
one day of
here you go,
testing.
Jeff. Test it out. Let me know by noon because we're launching this thing tomorrow. I got a detonator right now, so I don't know. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. Like I said.
So Meatball, you're the last one. You're the guy. It has to be a game. What game would it be that would say, you know what, I'm buying it today?
That's a great question.
Sonic now.
Wow,
he's gonna say heavy barrel, and then
no,
that is not the answer.
I'm trying to think what are some of my favorite indie games that I play on Steam that would translate well.
Castle Crashers.
Yeah, I mean, no.
no.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Dead Cells was really good because it was a big indie title, right? And I'm trying to think of one that falls into that category that is really big. And I'm just drawing a blank at the moment. I'd have to look at my Steam store. So I would I'm going to reserve my statement for the chat or the comments.
You know what game that I would think that would do well? What? Hollow Knight.
That would be good.
Hollow Knight,
or the Ori games.
The Ori, the Will of the Wisps or whatever that was. That was actually good. That's one let me go ahead and put my answer down as that. If they could get the Ori series, I would buy.
You know what game I think that would do well on there and translate well is Rocket League. I think Rocket League would do very well on that unit. First of all,
with online play.
It has to. That has to be online. If you get that you wouldn't even launch it unless it's online.
That's a definite possibility because really, what do we have for online play right now? Bomb Squad. That's it. There's nothing else that was a big selling feature of the cabinet. We're 6 months in and we haven't seen any more.
I think if they got that or like if you were trying to skew to the younger crowd as well, you could get like what's that gun game? You know it because you got kids. Fortnite, like Fortnite or something like that. MeatballSaucey, it's not for us. We got to remember it's for other demographics. It's for your kid. Those two games,
even with the kids, but that's certainly not going to make me go buy the IR.
That would get me to try Fortnite.
No, you would try it, right? Yeah,
I would try it. Yeah.
The thing is that system has enough power to run those two games, and that's a unique thing because most of our arcade cabinets, without the assist of putting a PC on it or a Raspberry Pi, don't have that kit.
Okay, let's go down that rabbit hole. What if they got like Minecraft?
No.
Like they could do Minecraft.
Minecraft might actually be one I would jump on if
my kids will actually.
Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Can you imagine an arcade Minecraft? Like
you can keep it. You better have the receipt.
Sold. Arcade in the arcade.
Oh, man.
So what about like Streets of Rage 4? What
that
about
if Streets of Rage 4 or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out today, if I didn't have it and it was still full price, I'd get it. I would get it.
What's that other one?
Online play too.
What's the other game you said?
Vengeance, I think it was called. It's like it's the spiritual sister game to
take. It's called Take Something. Off Taker. I know it
to me recently.
It's really good. That game is awesome.
Yeah, it's Vengeance. So it's something like that. It's like I said, it's a very Streets of Rage like game. But I agree, Mad Dad, get something like that that's got online co-op. Yes,
I think those two games you could probably sell a unit just with those two games. You had those two games, I'm telling you, the sales would probably double. Right then.
My wallet would be open.
Arcade One
I'd
Up
be watching my
has a
tracking number.
Burger Time cabinet. It's just Burger Time, right? What
Yeah,
else is on
but
cabinet?
the appeal to the Burger Time cabinet in Arcade One Up is the
the
way
art.
it looks.
Yeah.
Like that's a very unique, that's a very iconic cabinet. The way it looks. So yes, it's a like I said, it's a recognizable game, but it's not. That's why it was a limited edition for Arcade One Up. There's not millions of people knocking down the door to say, "Let me get that Burger Time." No, unless you're Michael B.
Man, where Cubert at? No, it's like,
Listen,
I'm just messing with you, man. See, calm it down a little bit over there, man.
I'm sorry. I get a little emotional. I apologize.
Put Cubert on there.
Man, please. If you bring me some Cubert, you go get me upset. Nah. All right.
Evercade? What did you say?
Evercade. Wait.
Cubert.
All right.
I bet you see Cubert on the Evercade. You watch.
I'm sure it will be. I mean, I'm sure it will. You know, it's probably that. It'll be one game on that cartridge. It'll just be
one game on the cartridge.
I'm not gonna lie, man, my favorite games are like he said, Tekken. Tekken was a really good one. Even Virtual Fighter. You know, those type of stuff.
That's the title that they should get, because again, it's that unit is powerful enough to play it. They got the Sega relationship there. I think if they did that, Arcade One Up would be a little scared.
I want that Namco Soul Calibur though, man. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of liked. Was it Soul Blade? I liked Soul Blade.
Soul Calibur. Oh, you did? Yeah, Soul Calibur.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I like that.
So now it's time, guys, that someone pays their debt. And we had a conversation that he's gonna leave. We was gonna do Adolf Hitler but I don't want the channel to start getting crazy in the chat. So we're gonna leave. We're gonna try to talk him into looking like Charlie Chaplin. Just leave a little thing there. He's coming. He's gonna become a member of society again. He was outside the other day when he was going to work, and he had a cup of coffee, and someone threw change in his coffee cup, thinking he was homeless. And so you remember that? You told me about that, Jeff. He's like, this guy just threw change at me. So I'm very happy that he is coming back to society. Thank you. Let's do it.
I'm just gonna go right up the middle here. You ready?
He really. What did he do?
He
do this.
While I do this, you gonna tell them what happened?
He took an L. He came on the channel. During the tournament. We're in the middle of a tournament. He's gonna come into the chat and talking that smack. He's like, "Dude, you are whack. I'll give you an L. You're nothing. Blah 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 blah." I was like, "This. Oh, real? Don't come in my chat talking that smack. It ain't going. It doesn't. That don't flow." So Brad said, "Yo, let's bet a no shave." I'm like, "I'm down with that. And that's what happened. He had to, dead man walking. He had to pay the piper. Got to pay the piper. So
look at that.
We have stooped down to this level of entertainment.
I feel like we need some beard shave music or something from accompaniment.
Oh man. So yeah, the tears are coming.
Oh man.
No, see, the bet really should have been that he had to stay 24 hours with this beard thing like this. He should go outside with that beard.
What happened? Did your batteries cut off?
Listen, oh my God. Fu Manchu. That's right, it's the Fu Manchu.
See, man, I got my Gillette. You can borrow my Gillette if you like. I mean,
So if you're entertained by this, make sure you hit that thumbs up, because chances are that Jeff will put his foot in his mouth again and bet something. Next time it might be eyebrows. Who knows? I might just bet his eyebrows, and that's 8-bit vinyls in here. What up, 8-bit? So, listen, you already look better. You already look better. I will tell you this, because the grades were coming in. I was gonna tell you about yourself, but I'm glad that you are now again member of society. Though, you know, do the mustache. He's doing the reverse Charlie Chapman now.
Man, there you go.
I am. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Don't talk Jack no more. Woo.
That's it.
It's just handlebar action going on there, man.
This is the end of it. I know he feels relief because I remember not shaving. I tried to grow my beard, and I'm. They call me Patches for a reason because it just doesn't grow in so well. So I try to leave it as long as I could, and it just is irritating. It's irritating. So I commend you for not cheating and sticking to it. So
You're making a mess here.
if anybody said anything bad about you, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Hold on, you got green screen? Hold on, now.
I was
Just in case. Hold on.
when I took this bet, I was above you in the leaderboard by just a little bit.
Man.
I'm like, there's no way. It was hard to get to that, and I'm like, there's no
Listen,
way either of us are gonna.
You don't understand. I channeled everything that was inside me. I was like, this will not happen. I was there for a while. I'll tell you, I was playing that. I played that game. Like, if the first ball didn't hit the skill shot, I just reset. I'm like, there's no way. Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
that's what I
boom.
was doing.
And every time I played, all three balls hit that skill shot to make sure that you were going down. And then I was like this. After I even beat it, because I told you our scores were probably like 200. I think it was 2,000. No, 10,000.
So
All I have to say, all you had to do was one loop or one combo. You would have beaten me. So I was like, is this guy gonna take off of work to try to beat me? Is he gonna get off of work so he can try to beat me? I kept on looking at the scoreboard. I was sweating. I was over there playing, and as I was playing, the scores would get less and less and less. I'm like this. I'm going to reverse. So, thank you. Woo!
You didn't shave anyway.
Hold on, did the wife say shave the beard?
I didn't shave. I didn't shave because I was trying to, be part of a brethren. I was feeling your pain, bro.
I'm gonna send you a victory.
Oh, look at you,
gift.
man! Look at you.
I'm gonna send you a victory
Yeah.
gift. That's why I forgot to.
He's gonna put all that hair in a box and send it to you.
And he said that. Listen, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, I need some hair, but that is not the kind of hair that I need. Okay.
Oh my god, that looks awfully sexy.
Yeah.
No, I do need your shipping address though. I've got something that I bought that I'm gonna send to you.
Brother, you got it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so 2 things. Before we leave, in the chat, I'm giving away a shirt of mine to commend that. I've just opened up a store. And if you want to, get one, in the description, there is the link to it. But we got to do some kind of trivia in order to give away the shirt. So, Mad Dads, you do the honor. Figure something out. And don't be like Michael B. Michael B does the worst. I'm sorry. I love Michael B. He's like my best friend. He's my YouTube best friend. Right? But his trivia sucks. Sucks.
Oh man, shoot. I guess I can do something like, I don't know, man.
Come try to keep it with the theme on what we've been talking about today.
Okay, we've been talking about, I mean, it was Arcade 1-Up, so I could do something like when I first saw something like, I don't know, man.
This
What was the
video
first
brought to you
Arcade
by
1-Up that
Manscaped.
came out?
What was the first Arcade 1-Up that came out? Put it in the chat. I hope you know what it is. Don't do like Michael B. That's one of the Michael B things he does. He asks a question that don't know the answer to it.
Do you? I mean, I'm thinking I know.
You thinking you know? I need you to be confident. Pac-Man. MK was the first answer, but then you can't do double guessing, bro.
MK wasn't it though.
Rampage, Street
I
Fighter.
thought it was Space Invaders.
What? First of all, why would you say that?
Was it not Space Invaders?
I think it is, but you're not supposed to say it.
I'm guessing. I'm probably wrong.
You're actually right. You're actually right.
I'm right. I'm a super fan, right?
So you're actually right. So,
Right?
Chet, should I give him the shirt?
No, don't give me the shirt.
Listen, no, I mean, you're right. I can't give it to somebody after they
I
know.
wasn't even trying. I was shaking.
Mike,
You guys in chat are horrible at this.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're gonna do another question because obviously you don't understand the logic between asking a trivia question and not knowing the answer. You can't say, "I think I know what it is." You got to know what it is.
If you ask another one, I'll just blurt out the answer to that. Too.
No.
I got one now.
Okay, I need you to do better, bro. I need you to do better.
Come on, that was pretty good because you know.
No, it wasn't pretty good because you didn't know the answer.
Mike says Space
It doesn't matter.
Invaders.
That's like having anybody remember Seinfeld? Like that's having the reservation, but not. I know how to take a reservation, but I don't know how to keep it. You can take the whatever. Okay, all right. So do you know the answer to this next trivia question?
Yes.
Not yet. I'm still thinking of one. I was gonna say something like when was the ALP first released? I was gonna do something like that, but
you don't know the answer to that.
I do know.
2020.
Huh?
2020.
Yeah. Okay. And then he's just saying random stuff. So also in the chat, I'm gonna hold on right here. While you do that, I'm gonna do this real quick. In the chat, I'm gonna put my email down below on the ticker. And what we're gonna do here, you're gonna email me if you want a sticker of your boy. It's gonna be on the site, but as a celebration, we're gonna give them away. So just email me your name and your address, and we will send that out to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out something.
What the hell is that? What the hell is, you look like you're about to bomb us, bro. Come on, bro. So email down below. Email me your name and your address, and we'll get you out a sticker. Listen, I hope you didn't look like that in high school. Do you think that he looked like this in high school? Let me know. You look like a stoner, bro. Man, I wish I had hair. Okay, so come on.
What was the question? I missed the question.
He's still trying to do research. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm trying to get a good one though. I'm not trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get a good one though.
Okay. Listen.
No, that ain't gonna be it. That was gonna be
it. He said you look like you're going to. I'm gonna put this up. I mean, is it still too soon to say this joke? I don't know, but I find it amusing. Some might think it's too early. We gotta, dude, pass the bong. Oh man, are you okay there, Matt? Are you frozen?
I'm trying to get a good one.
At first, I thought his screen was frozen. Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right, hold on. Okay, here we go. When? All right, I got it.
Okay. Get your fingers ready.
Here we go. Okay, so when was Arcade 1-Up founded?
You better use Google's your friend. Google's your friend. Look it up. The first one in there. Throw it in the private chat so we can know what we look. Techno got it?
Yeah, 2018.
Well, are you just looking for a year?
Yeah, just a year.
Techno Billy got it. Dang, he was fast.
I changed his answer.
Oh, we should we pull it? Should we pull it? No, we're not gonna do that. Techno Billy got it. Techno Billy got it. Techno, you know how to contact me. Give me your shirt size, your address, and your information so I can send it to you, buddy.
So when are we doing the other giveaway? Your 500.
The 500. So this week I'm doing a video, right?
Okay.
And the video, you have to pay attention to it. There's going to be some details in it. So if you're not paying attention to the video, you're not going to win. You have to watch it from beginning to end so you can win. And you have to like, comment, and subscribe. You should do that right now just for practice. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I'm whoring myself out. I feel like Data East right now. I'm so sorry.
You see all of us here? Yes, subscribe to all.
Make sure, definitely. First of all, Mad Dad, definitely subscribe to him if you like comedy, because if you like comedy and you want to see some funny shit, he'll be doing some pinball gameplay. You can watch him. It's hilarious. I go there all the time for a good joke and a laugh.
No.
Okay. First of all, Mad Dad, you got to get back at MeatballSaucey. He was talking smack about you. He said that you were playing like that on purpose. I mean, he said no. He said don't adjust your TV. That's not playing.
I already unsubscribed, so it's okay.
Everybody unsubscribe from your
Listen, I cried when I read that.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. I was playing. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm telling you the truth, man. I'm not a pinball player.
I know. That's why I say everybody go to that channel. So if you want to laugh,
but I do, sometimes I do kick it in there. I get up there, but on some tables I can tear it up. But just like I'm not a pinball. I'm like I said, normally a fighting, role playing. I'm like one of those type of gamers. You know what I mean? That's what I normally do. But playing the pinball is just something new, and just playing it. Never had one.
It's fun. It's fun.
And it was just fun to do it, man. You know what I mean?
It's fun. We appreciate you bringing humor into our house. So that's it. Okay, so definitely again,
make y'all laugh. So the more
subscribe,
that's all I'm saying.
Subscribe,
whatever it takes.
Like his videos. Let's make that happen. And then we got Rainwater Gaming here. God damn it, the wrong thing. Rainwater Gaming here. He's new to the game, but he's been having some funny ass shit on his channel. So if you like that, and he actually does good reviews. I'm not gonna say great because there's room for growth, but good reviews. If he's on the wrong mic, let him know because he may be on the wrong mic. But other than that, he's doing pretty well. So give him that. He did the Powwow Kitty the other day, and that was actually a good review. I was like, "Dang, is this really Jeff?" So there. And so subscribe to my man's channel. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, MeatballSaucey. I first of all, you're doing yourself a discredit if you're not sub to him if you're a virtual pinball guy, especially if you're with that game. Because he does so many things with it. You got to subscribe to this channel. He has way too little bit of a count for the knowledge that he has. So subscribe to that channel and, tell them while you subscribe and you put a comment, say UAG sent you. All right. So does anybody have anything that they're going to be promoting on their channel? Let me know. Come on, say it now.
I'm going to be putting out a video of my top 10 most anticipated in television Amico games. You guys know much about that system?
I'm
television, yeah, but interested.
It's not coming out.
if Turbo Joe was on the chat, he loves that stuff. He loves himself, Amico. Me personally, I'm not as old as Glenn, so
Well,
that's
check out
not really my
video.
cup
I'll
of
have that
tea.
out in the next couple of days. But it's I'm on the fence about getting one. It's not out yet. It's not going to be out till I think this next fall. But it looks like an interesting system. It's very family friendly system, and they taking old games like Moon Patrol and stuff and like giving them, like revamping and making new versions of them. So it looks pretty interesting, but it's kind of pricey for what it is. So that's why I'm kind of like
On the fence about it.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to get your viewpoint on things there. And Meatball, what you got going?
I'm going to do Legends Ultimate this weekend and hook up the steering wheel, do some driving games, just talk to the people, see what's up, and do some racing.
This time I'll try not to be driving when I'm watching your videos because you probably got me this close to having an accident. But that's probably not my fault.
I'm not the only one that does that. Like,
Listen, I wasn't watching it. I was listening, but then he did something, and I was like, I looked, and I was like, I had to answer to that. But so you don't do that. Don't do UAG. Don't do that. Mad Dash, what you got?
Well, man, I'm probably gonna do. I got that. Like I was telling you, the Stern tables on the Xbox. I know it has nothing to do with arcade, but I was probably gonna do something like that.
We're nerds.
Most people,
and that's a nerdy thing, so we like to that.
So most people might not have seen that. So I'll probably just do something like some like live gameplay. Stream it, playing that. And that should give you some laughs, like UEG says. Because I'm probably gonna suck it. Well, I don't know when I'm using the joystick. I'm just saying.
It might be better, right?
You know what I mean? It might be better for me when I'm playing it.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for
and hopefully,
good gameplay.
I'll do a video because it did say it was shipped on the controller, that game controller. So we'll see.
Yeah, I got mine's coming. I'm excited about that. If anybody wants to buy it for triple the amount in the chat, I will sell it to you. I'm all about sharing, okay? As well. So for me, I'm going to be doing a new series. I'm going to be showcasing a game from the Legends Pinball that's native, because some people might be discouraged about trying to modify or adding a computer. So you really got a lot of value in the system just with the stock games. So I'm going to be showcasing a game a week, basically showing you, the game. And the first game is going to be Hot Wheels 2017. I'm very excited about that game. It's a recognizable IP, first off. It's fun, and the sound effects are cool. So stay tuned.
Nice.
So, guys, I think that's a wrap. I think we had a good time. I appreciate all the guests coming by. I appreciate Rainwater coming back to society. I appreciate the knowledge from Mr. MeatballSaucey, and of course the man, the legend, Glenn. Why did I say Glenn?
What?
I'm losing my mind. I apologize, Mad Dad. Don't be crying. Don't be crying, bro. Don't be crying.
I'm just listening. No, I appreciate everybody, especially everybody in the chat coming and watch us. Rainwater, same with Meatball. Y'all always been here supporting us and stuff like that. So we really appreciate everybody coming in. Even if you're late boomer and all that stuff, we still appreciate you. And we're all about the community. So again, if y'all have any suggestions or anything like that, just all y'all have to do is just email. Like I said, there you go. His email's right there. Just
email us. And we'll do a segment next week. Just on your topic. If it's good enough, it might be chosen. Don't of course don't use something that's recycled. Like if you come back here with some Evercade stuff, I'm gonna email you back and I'm gonna curse you out. All right? So don't do that. But as always, guys, till next time, keep gaming.
Peace, y'all.
Later,
Peace.
nerds.